Gentlemen, the childish notions of motivation. We need to forget the childish notions of gumption. I don't feel like, how do I do? We need to forget these childish notions. Every single day you delay, every single day it takes you to reach the end goal, it becomes harder, nigh on impossible on a long enough time frame. You're attempting to climb a mountain. Every single day, the mountain grows. It gets higher, it gets taller. Rock emerges from the earth, from the tectonic plates. You do not have time to lack motivation. You do not have time to struggle with dedication. Your time is up. You must run to the top of the mountain instantly. The less time it takes you to get there, the less distance you have to climb. There is no longer any time for these childish notions of how do I find the dedication and motivation. All gone, because it is getting harder every single day. You cannot find a metric in the Western world, a single metric which is improving for men. It is harder to find a woman worth having. It is harder to afford children. It's harder to make money. It's less safe on the street. Your government hates you. Inflation's out of control. Crime is getting worse. There are more and more migrants arriving by the day. They rip the tax base. It is done. You do not have time anymore to be messaging me about motivation and dedication and how you manage to find the gumption to dedicate yourself to something. All of those childish notions are gone. There is no longer any cotton wool. There are no longer any rose-tinted glasses. There are people who understand it is panic stations, absolute impatience. Everything you've ever wanted, you must get now. And there are people who do not understand this, who are going to take a few steps up the mountain, then take a break, take a rest, go to sleep in their tent, and wake up having a larger climb than before they took any steps at all. You must panic, gentlemen, because things are going to get a whole bunch worse before they get better. So whatever plans you have that were for the middle of next year, that were due to take 6 to 12 months, whatever they are, they must disappear. You must instantly enact these plans. You must instantly take action, and you must aim for instant results. This is not just the result of the world getting worse. It is also the result of the speed of information increasing. Artificial intelligence is increasing the speed of information. If I want to know the size of a blue whale's baby, I don't need a marine biologist. I don't need to go to a university. I don't need to find a book and buy it. I don't have to look it up in a book. I ask Grok and it will tell me. It is that simple. As the speed of information increases exponentially, along with it, the opportunity, the length of opportunities will also decrease. Information is moving faster, meaning opportunities exist for a shorter period of time. You must take action. In 2026, the only people who are going to be successful and make money are the monumentally impatient who take instant action right away, and whatever they're thinking of doing next week, they do now. If they think they need to train, they go gym now. They don't go gym in an hour. They don't go hire a personal trainer and go next week. They don't find a gym and think about it for next month. They don't wait till January 1st. If you feel like you need to be in shape, they go to the gym instantly. The universe, karma, the simulation, God is going to reward the instant action takers. It's no longer the knowledgeable. It is the instant action takers. Impatience is the most important word for 2026. You do not have any time anymore. Guys, patience was the weapon. Patience is how you used to escape the Matrix.
Yeah.
You'd go and get a job.
In the 90s.
Yeah.
Sure.
You'd get a job. You'd work hard. You'd wait to get a promotion. You'd save up a house deposit.
Yeah.
You'd pay 10 years of mortgage. You'd add to your 401k. You were patient and you waited and you worked hard, and 1 + 1 = 2, and it all added up into your success. But that's not the case anymore. 1 + 1 doesn't even equal 1. By the time you add taxes, by the time you add inflation, by the time you add it to the fact that you might get to death on your street because your entire community is falling apart.
Inheritance tax.
By the time you understand your job is never going to give you a promotion, you're never going to get paid any more money, you do not have patience. Patience has gone from the weapon, from the anti-venom to the venom. The most patient people now are going to get destroyed. Anyone who says, in 3 or 4 years, they're done. If you think in 3 or 4 years, the world we're going to live in is going to look anything like the world we live in now, you're an idiot.
And your savings are going to be worth anything more than they're worth now. You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. You do not have the ability to be patient anymore. You need to panic. You need to get rich now. You need instant action. You need instant results. Impatience is the most important word for 2026. And I hope that 2025 taught you something that I said to you in an emergency meeting not too long ago, that nobody is coming to save you. Once Trump won, now everyone's sitting there asking Trump to fix their problems, their very specific problems. And the Rebel Alliance, the right, was a band of individualists which all had very different views and hopes. So they're not going to fix all your problems. Nobody is coming to save you. Nothing's going to be better in 2025. Get rid of this. Bitcoin's going to $1 trillion. My 0.1 Bitcoin is enough because I found a podcast that says that. I watch more and more podcasts that say 0.1 Bitcoin will be enough because I don't have more than 0.1 Bitcoin. And Trump and Elon are going to save me and everything's fine. Let me just rage post on Twitter and wait for Bitcoin to go up. That is a mistake. If those podcasts saying 0.1 Bitcoin is enough are accurate, if they are, which is debatable, because I don't think they are, then you should still be trying to earn more so you have 0.2 Bitcoin as opposed to watching those podcasts for hopium. I ask a lot of people what they're doing. They say, locking in, bro. And their version of locking in is just dumb shit. Watching podcasts for hope, rage posting on Twitter for hope.
5 years ago, when Andrew's saying the people at the top are going to get richer, the people at the bottom are going to get poorer, the gap's closing, the gap was here. Everyone in the middle still had a chance to get up to the top. Then a few years later, Andrew's saying AI is going to wreck us all. It's going to take all of your jobs. The gap gets smaller, the gap gets smaller. As Andrew said, a single side is being added to the dice every single day. It's going to be the have-nots and the have-yachts. Another Andrew Tate quote from back in the day. Your time to get out still exists. There is still a window of opportunity, but every day that goes by, the window shrinks by a much bigger and a much exponentially bigger percentage than it ever did at any time throughout human history.
I've got some fantastic news for all of you. You're The world is fucked. The reason I'm doing this emergency meeting is because I think we need a word of the year. And the word of the year for 2026 needs to be impatience. You all need to become massively impatient because from what I've seen, I've done my statistical analysis. What I've done is use my superhuman mind to use quantum leap and see the future. And I've been in every single room of the future at once. I've been in Congress, I've been in Fort Knox, I've been in that weird locked closet in Malaysia. I've been around and seen everything. And basically, things are gonna get a whole bunch worse before they get better. Do you remember last New Year's? Do you remember the optimism? Trump was the president-elect. He's gonna save everything, he's gonna fix everything. All of it's gonna be fixed. They're going to make Bitcoin a national reserve currency.
What was our slogan of the year? Fortune favors the prepared mind.
No, but I remember last year at the end of 2024, even us locked in our house. We were still locked in our house. We believed everything was looking up. We believed that Bitcoin was going to the moon. We believed everyone was going to get rich. We believed they were going to fix all the fraud and secure the border. And guess what? They can't even deport people who are stealing billions. It is so ridiculously over, and it is going to get so much worse before it gets better. So the very basic premise is impatience. What I am doing for 2026, and I am not giving you guys advice, I'm telling you what I am doing. Take it or leave it. If you think that you should listen to the man who has everything, then you should listen. And if not, don't. all of my plans for March, I'm starting now. All of my plans for next November, I am starting now. Because I have become massively impatient, very much like there is a comet or an asteroid heading for planet Earth. I now believe that every single day we wait, it's going to get harder and harder for anybody to achieve anything of significance. And that is happening for a few reasons. The first reason is because everyone now sees that the game is rigged. The game is rigged, and most people who have money just stole it.
Yeah. People at the top and people at the bottom are stealing from a working class and industrious class of people in the middle who are getting from both sides. The double dildo.
And even worse is that everyone is waking up to this fact. And as people wake up, as most people realize how hopeless the fight is, how unfair the game is, how rigged everything is, a lot of people just simply black pill and doom. That is the answer, because most people don't have hope. You're watching our show. We give you hope. We give you a way out. We tell you it's going to be hard. We tell you it's going to be difficult, but we tell you it can be done if you dedicate yourself. You can have a life worth living. You can forget the politics. You can get rich. You can move to Singapore or Dubai or Tokyo and be rich and have a bunch of children and have a life worth living and build a family office which extracts money from the stock market as the inflation debases the currency, and you can live a life worth living. But most people just black pill and doom. And that is a problem, because when the entire population is black pilled and doomed, do you understand that it makes it harder for you to be successful in your world? Because it is a crab in a bucket mentality. Not only are they trying to drag you down, but most importantly, you can't make people believe in things anymore. Let me give you an example. Last year, you were trading meme coins. Now, you can't make money on meme coins because nobody believes in meme coins. You can't convince people to believe in them long enough for the price to go up. How are you supposed to have a business when everybody doesn't believe that they're hiring your service or working with you will improve their life? How are you supposed to make money when everyone around you believes it's over? The mass demoralization, which is coming from the anticlimactic 2025. Everybody is monumentally depressed and blackpilling and dooming, and that's going to make it harder for the winners to win, which is why it's so important you create your reality for 2026, and it's also why it's so important you become massively impatient. Every single day you wait to attempt anything, it becomes harder. Every single day it becomes harder. And it's going to get harder because the situation you're in is only going to get worse. Gentlemen, crime is going to keep going up. Fraud ain't going anywhere. Trump can't save anything. The Western world as we know it is imploding. Your way of life as you know it is imploding. And your chance to make money is going to get harder every single day as all the people who you would normally be interacting with, working with, selling to, collaborating with, realize this truth. You need to become monumentally impatient. Whatever your plans are for January 1st need to start today. You don't have 2 days to waste. Whatever your plans were for next summer need to happen now. Impatience is the word for 2026. And I've come to the conclusion with my quantum mind. The conclusion is this. The successful people in the world used to simply know what others do not know. There was an edge that was given to people by having information or knowledge, but knowledge has become so cheap and so accessible. Please imagine in the 1990s, you would go to a college or university and you would pay $100,000 or $200,000 to learn about marine biology, so that when someone like me, an ill-educated peasant, wanted to understand the birthing cycle of blue whale, I'd have to hire your stupid ass to tell me about blue whales' babies. But now I can ask AI, explain to me like I'm 10, how blue whales have babies. Knowledge means nothing now. Knowledge means nothing. So how do we differentiate the winners from the losers? And I think It is differentiated by pure agency, pure attack,
Power
pure
output.
energy, and pure power output, and pure impatience. They want you alive and demoralized. And as a man with any kind of red blood, any kind of fire in his soul, you must understand it is your primary objective to outwit the devil. And the devil wants you demoralized. It wants you to quit. You stand 0% chance of getting rich if you do not believe you will be rich.